Good evening. It's November 4th, 2022, and we're here at Fitzpatrick Stadium for tonight's playoff football action between the Rams of Kennebunk and your Portland Bulldogs. This is Steve Schwartz along with Dave Levine, tonight joined by Mike Hoffer at the Forecaster. And we'll get to you in just a moment, Mike. Dave, I want to first talk about Kennebunk. They come in here 6-3, the same record as Portland, but they have one player in particular who's really special.
Yeah, their running back, Jack Cataldi, is a beast. He ran for over 100 yards last week, had 83 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, and if that's not enough, he forced a fumble inside the red zone on defense. So he is the man on their offense. They also have 2 other running backs on their team, Jonah Barstow and Gary Compton, who both rushed well last week. One had another touchdown there, and I mean, this is just a solid team top to bottom.
They look that way. You could see that they're rather organized on the field, but so is Portland as well. Compton had 70 yards against Portland in the first game, and Barstow had 92, so we'll see what happens in this iteration. As David points out, the big leader was Cataldi in the playoff game against Biddeford. Mike, let's talk about Portland. They're ranked number 1. Last week, the name of the game was Kennedy Charles.
Yeah, and there's a very good chance it will be again if the Bulldogs get to where they want to be, and that's the regional final next week. You know, the first time these teams played way back in week 1 down at Biddeford, Portland won 21-14 on its opening night, and Kennedy Charles actually caught the winning touchdown pass in that game. He wasn't quarterback yet. Sam Esposito started that game. He got hurt. Louis Thurston came in and played quarterback after that. Wasn't much longer until Kennedy Charles took over as the Wildcat quarterback, and the Bulldogs haven't lost since. They're riding a 5-game win streak coming in, and I think what you see is what you get with this team. It's going to be a lot of Kennedy Charles. It'll be a lot of Regan Buck, Andrew Brewer. If they go to the air, it'll be Remy Jowani. I mean, stuff that we've seen for 9 weeks. They're going to be staunch on defense and try to force turnovers and take advantage. Portland didn't really get tested last week. I think they're going to get a test this week, though.
Folks, I think the Dogs are stoked, the Rams are stoked, and we're going to bring you all of the playoff action in a moment. Here we go, folks, as the Bulldogs set to go through. Ram hunting season now open. Okay.
I'm going to come back. I was going to say hi to Steve.
20 seconds here. You know, it's really interesting. Again, Dave, you see the size of the Portland team, and there's so little depth compared to their opponents, yet they're having just a tremendous season.
They are, and it all starts, it's really with their starters. Most of their starters are playing both ways. They substitute in a couple here and there, but because of the kind of lopsided victories they've had lately, they're able to get some of their second and third string players in. So this team, even though small, most everyone is going to play. I do know that Portland is not dressing their JV team, so it makes it look a little smaller, and maybe Kennebunk is dressing their JV team, so it looks a little bit bigger. But we'll see what happens during the game. Hopefully they don't get tired. It is a nice, cool night. It's a perfect night for football, and we'll see where it goes.
Folks, it was 70 degrees as a high today here in Portland, or in certain parts of Portland. It's a little bit, it is a little bit cooler now. It's a beautiful, crisp fall day, and we'll bring you the game itself in just a moment. So that was the Portland High School Band recorded under the direction of Jane Sawtell. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. Dave, the Bulldogs will receive, and they have Buck and Temple deep, as the kicker here for Kennebunk is, let's see if it's 21 or 24. I think it's Max Andrews, but we'll see. It's a squib kick all the way down to about the 12-yard line. Picked up by Temple on the right side. He's got some daylight. Nice return, still on his feet.
Yeah, Temple took that ball and came out fast. There wasn't really a whole lot of blocking on his side, so he had to come across the field, came up the right side, and just used his speed to get out to about the 34-yard line, setting up Portland in decent field position to start this game.
That was a 24-yard kickoff return for Temple, and the Dogs have pretty good field position here.
So I know last week Kennebunk focused on stopping the quarterback from Biddeford, Ivan Ramos. Ramos only had 82 yards, and 51 of those came on a touchdown. So let's see what they do with Charles.
Brewer gets the handoff, and he's stopped way behind the line in on that. Well, let's see if there's a number.
Yeah, they just went strong power off the right side there to see what they can do. Test this Kennebunk defense. Again, I think Portland is best served today by running their three-headed monster running attack. They don't want to focus on Charles all the time. Give Buck and Brewer a chance to touch the ball and see what they can do as well.
2nd and 8. This time on the right side, a little daylight. Now, let's see if it's enough for the first down. It's very close as Buck is going to gain, it looks like, about 6, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. Third and 1, he'll get 7.
2 inches is more like it.
Yeah, he'll get 7 yards, Buck, on that.
So don't get tricky here. Don't get fancy. Just take the power run up the middle, get your first down, and keep this drive alive.
Charles certainly capable of a keeper. He's in the gun right now. And he is going to keep it, and he's going to get the first down and more. He's hooked. He's going to get progress to midfield. It's going to be 1st and 10. There'll be a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, tackled by Owen Bork there. They're big lineman. He's going to be playing both ways. He's their offensive left tackle and their nose guard here on the defense.
We'll give him credit for an extra yard there, 7. So it's 1st and 10 now, the ball on the Rams' 49-yard line. The Dogs are threatening. Charles takes the handoff on the right side, goes around. Very difficult to bring him down. He gets 7 yards.
Good take by Charles. He made a couple players miss in the backfield and was able to turn it upfield, lowered his shoulder and got a couple extra yards on that. Early in the game, I'm not so happy of him lowering his shoulder. Maybe just kind of get what you can get and don't fight for those extra yards. That's when you kind of lose the ball. That's when you kind of get beat up a little bit, and you know he's going to touch it a lot.
Well, he's had a tendency to have cramp up a lot this year, and he gets an awful lot of touches in the course of a game. And here he goes up the middle, fighting for the first down. Yeah, that's.
I think he's going to be about 2 inches short again.
Yeah, that's number 74 in on that tackle first, Peyton Blanchard. Along with 72, Owen Burke, according to.
So they are going to move the chains.
So first down. Here we go. A lot of this drive has been Charles. One in motion, and he hands it off to Regan Buck on the right side. And Buck's going to get about 4 on that. We'll see what the official word is.
Yeah, John Ogden came over, made a tackle on the play. Buck was able to get the corner and get positive yardage out of this. If Portland can keep getting 4 yards a carry, that serves them well. It keeps it third and short when they need to. They can pick up. They're never behind the chains, and that's what you want to stay with this defense. That's going to key on your running game the whole time.
It's 2nd and 6. Charles keeps it. Goes on the right side. Goes through a big hole. He's got 1 to beat, and he will see he's in for the touchdown. 36-yard touchdown run. Kennedy Charles, he takes off right where he left off.
Yeah, that was a great block in the backfield by Andrew Brewer. He just led him right around the corner, took out the linebacker in the way, and Kennedy Charles was up to full speed immediately and was gone.
The Dogs will have the ball placed on the 3-yard line as they're going to try to make a 2-point conversion as they've done all year.
So we did see Miles Hang taking some point afters in warm-ups, and he was hitting them.
Charles inside and a nice goal line stand as Brewer is stopped.
Yeah, they tried to just drag him across the formation, and hopefully they could use his power to get in. It just didn't work out for him. He caught the ball, but he was tackled short of the goal line, and they leave a couple points on the board.
So, with 7:41 left in the first quarter, the score, Portland Bulldogs 6, Kennebunk Rams nothing. Here we go. Kennedy Charles with the kickoff here. Launches a short kick, and it is actually caught before it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, they tried a little pooch onside kick there, kicking it over the first line but in front of the second line, and almost worked. I mean, Hunter Temple came right down the sideline and was just a step away from picking up that onside kick.
Gray Compton fell on it for the Rams, and so it'll be their ball on their own 32-yard line. 1st and 10. So we finally get a look here at the offense. The handoff is to 32, so the quarterback is Jack Cornell, captain, and he hands it off to Jonah Barstow up the middle, and he gets a 1st down.
Yeah, Jonah Barstow plays what they're listing him as a fullback, and he really kind of is, even though he's deep in the formation. In that time, you saw Cataldi come around in motion and ended up behind Barstow on the straight hand up the middle.
12-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 44-yard line.
So the Kennebunk offensive line is bigger than the defensive line of Portland, so I can see a lot of inside runs.
Well, and the point is well taken, as that time the ball is given to Jack Cataldi. And he goes up the middle, and he gains about 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5, ball on the 49-yard line.
So early in the game, both teams are feeling each other out, seeing what tendencies are, seeing how they want to play. You saw Portland mixing in inside and outside runs, using their speed to score the touchdown. Kennebunk has so far run 2 power plays and picked up 15 solid yards.
Looks like they're very much a running team. Is Cornell under center?
Yeah, Barstow came out of that fullback position again. They're gonna run a single back. It's a single back offense with two wings, and they're putting one of the two wings in motion to come behind the quarterback into that running back position. So far, almost on every play.
Gets credit for 2 yards on that. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Ball now on the Portland 49-yard line. So pretty important down here with the ball at midfield. And a hold by Portland. Great defensive effort led by number 27, Braden Wales.
Yeah, they pitched it out that time to try to get Cataldi into space, and it just didn't go the way they planned, and he was tackled in the backfield for a 1-yard loss, facing 4th and 3 midfield. They're actually going to set up the punt.
The Dogs have 2 deep. Yeah, and that is a good end-over-end punt. It's caught at about the 19-yard line by Remy Jowani. He's going to run outside. Now he's brought down. He's already out of bounds, but close enough so that there'll be no call. The tackle was by Jack Cataldi.
Good return by Wani coming around to his left. Picked up a nice block in the backfield by Hunter Temple, and that really kind of sprung him to run away and come up the sideline. Again, a good return on a great punt.
It'll be 1st and 10. The ball will be on the Dogs' 35-yard line. Again, they start, with relatively good field position. They've been moving the ball well here in the early going. Just under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. They have a 6-0 lead. This time Charles will hand off. And that was to Brewer. And Moose Keys was first in on that tackle for Kennebunk.
Again, they came out of the pistol formation and just a straight handoff up the middle, run a little, kept with that power play up the middle, and sometimes that smaller line can actually impose their will if they're going forward.
6-yard gain that time. 2nd and 4. Buck with the ball. He gets the first down and more. It's past the 50. Down to the 47 or so yard line of Kennebunk. Actually, a 42.
Yeah, about a 17-yard gain there. What was nice about that run is when he took the ball, he didn't just run upfield. He waited for his blockers to get their blocks, waited for the holes to open up, and he was dancing a little bit in the backfield, but just kept his feet moving, and then when he saw that hole, exploded through it and got the big gain.
Consequently, 1st and 10 as Charles follows a blocker, hurdles over a player, and he's off to the races on the right side. And there we go, folks. A touchdown for Kennedy Charles, a 42-yard touchdown run. And here we go again, Dave.
Yep, the Brewer set the block in the backfield. Kennedy Charles leaped over one person and took off again. This is a repeat of last week, those big plays by Charles, big touchdown runs, just by great blocking up front and using his speed to just pull away.
The Rams do have a kicking game, so it would be ideal if the Dogs could score here and make it a 14-0 lead. They lead 12-0 now. It's 3.5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about going for two. If you're not making it, you're always chasing the points later in the game.
This time, Buck takes the ball, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. So 3-yard conversion run, and the score is 14-0. We'll be back. So we are back for the Kennedy Charles kickoff, following the Kennedy Charles running touchdown. This time it's a high kick, a fair catch called for. and caught by Gray Compton at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, smart play by Compton. There was no blocking up in front of him. That kick was way up in the air, allowing the Gunners to get down there close. He just made the safe play, called for the fair catch, didn't want to get hit because he was gonna get lit up if he tried to run there.
Portland clearly a skilled team. You can see the difference in size of the two lines, as Dave has pointed out. It's 1st and 10, ball and 31.
Yeah, Kennebunk is a bunch of maulers, and you see it right there with the handoff to Barstow. He is a big kid and just runs people down.
The head coach is Joseph Rafferty, Brian Dill, Eric Johansson, Keith Knoll, Douglas Stockbridge, and Rob Sullivan. The assistant coaches, Zeb Andrews, Kyle Beaupre, Kevin Conley, Mike Ferguson, Brian Hickey are the volunteer coaches. The athletic director is Joe Schwartzman. Principal Jeremy Soroy. 2nd and 8, ball on the 33, 2-yard gain. And back to throw is Cornell. Well covered by Remy Jo Wani, and Jacob Morris, the tight end, was the intended target.
Yeah, he's another one of their senior captains. He plays pretty much every position. He's also their kicker, their field goal kicker. So that's the first pass we've seen today. Good protection, but there was also good coverage down the field. There was nobody open, and when the quarterback rolled to his right, he really cut off half the field, and it allowed the defense to kind of focus in on the right side of the field and not allow the reception.
So it'll be 3rd and 8, ball on 33. Cornell under center. Back to throw. And a little too far for Morris, as once again he was the intended target.
Yeah, had him deep, but the problem was the coverage was coming underneath that, so he had to lob it over the top, not throw it on a line. And as soon as he let it go and threw it on a line, it was going to be trouble, because it was either going to be intercepted or over the receiver's head. There was kind of no in between. You had to lob that in.
Jacob Morris is also the punter for Kennebunk, as Wani and Charles are deep for Portland. And that's going to just bounce out of bounds at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. The score is 14-0. This is Steve Schwartz, along with Dave Levine for WPPS TV3 Sports, bringing you Portland Bulldogs football all year long. This is the playoffs.
So the first 2 drives for Portland ended with long Kennedy Charles runs. They did run every single play. They haven't thrown a pass yet, but we'll see what happens here. Maybe they mix something up.
The ball's on the 38. Buck takes the handoff. Some good penetration, but he gets around it and ends up with what looks to be about a 7 or 8 yard gain here.
Yeah, a little interesting play call. A wrinkle there. They brought Buck in motion from right to left, and as soon as the ball was snapped, he put his foot in the ground, did a 180, came across the face of Charles, took the handoff, and rolled right around that corner for 8 yards. And that was a great play. They moved the defense over to the wrong side. They got him looking right when the play went left.
So it'll be 2nd and 2. This time Charles will keep it. Boy, he knows how to use his blockers well. He gets the first down and more as he takes it down to the 45-yard line.
I've been saying it. This is now 4th or 5th time. That's Buck leading the. Brewer leading the way up the middle there, and Charles just waited for his blockers to make their blocks, and they were able to find the holes. Now, again, this defensive line for Kennebunk is much bigger, but if you can plant your feet and wall the player off, you can create these lanes.
That was an 8-yard gain for Kennedy Charles, Dave. It's 1st and 10. The ball's on the 45. Charles will keep it. Goes around end. First down and more. Still on his feet and finally brought down on the far side of the field by number 50, John Ogden.
Yeah, 18-yard pickup there on the far side. Again, he knows how to set up his blockers. Once he gets downfield, then it's all his athleticism. Did a couple dances, made a person miss, picked up a couple extra 3-4 yards at the end, and finished the run strong, looking at down inside now the 30.
You can practically, the ball's on the 27, it's 1st and 10. You can practically call that the red zone for Kennedy Charles. Actually, the ball could be on the other end of the field, and it could be
with the way
red zone.
he's been running, he's been breaking big plays.
Brewer that time was brought down by Ben Pargelis.
Yeah, another 5-yard pickup up the middle by Brewer that time. Portland is really imposing their will. This offensive line is, again, like last week, putting in the big work and moving some of those big bodies. Kennebunk is going with just a 3-man front. Now they're bringing up their 4th. They were running a 3-man front before, so now with extra bulk on the line, they're hoping to stop this run game.
Up the middle is Brewer. He's going to get the first down.
Yeah, another 8-yard carry right there. They came right off the left tackle and just powered up the middle. There's no bones about that play. It was just give me the ball and I'm going to run people over.
The Dogs have a lot of weapons, mostly on the ground, but not exclusively, as we're going to have a timeout here. Oh, actually, we're going to have the end of the quarter. So, at the end of the first quarter, the score, Portland Bulldogs 14, Kennebunk Rams nothing, and the Dogs are threatening. Coming off the timeout, first of all, as you look across the field, it's actually a really nice crowd from Kennebunk here tonight. That's the biggest away crowd that we've seen this year.
Yeah, Kennebunk traveled very well. They have a big student section as well. Portland's student section looks really good this week. There's a lot of people on the Portland sideline. This is a good crowd for a playoff game.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball on the 15. Charles is going to go straight up the middle this time. Takes 3 Kennebunk players to bring him down. In first is Moose Keys.
A little razzle-dazzle in the backfield, fake handoff to Buck coming across the formation, and he takes it up the middle, looking to try to fool the defense a little bit. But that time, that extra defensive lineman really helped out, and they were able to make the tackle.
Your candidate for the early MVP is actually number 25 because of all of his great blocking, correct?
Brewer right now is lead blocking on most of these big runs outside, and he is just taking out whoever is in his way, whether it's a defensive end or a linebacker.
And that goes to Buck in the middle, and he gets down to what looks to be about the, about the 7, we'll see, where it's spotted. It was 3rd and 8. Of course, this is 4th down territory for the Dogs. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go for it. So this play can be whatever run you like to pick up at least half the distance, and then you're just going to run again to try to get that first down. There's no need to put this ball in the air unless you want to try something fancy.
Another player that's been in on almost every run blocking lead is Colin Kelly, number 50 for the Dogs. 3rd and 3, ball on the 8. Charles goes to the outside, and I think he's going to be stopped just shy of the first down. But But that was actually third down.
That was third down. So as I said, they needed to get about half the distance to make this a legit try on fourth down, and that's what they did. They running outside like that sometimes when it's packed this tight doesn't really pay off. Sometimes the power run is a little bit better. There's not a lot of room down here for the defense to cover, so they can bring their safeties and their corners right up to the line of scrimmage.
So it's 4th and 1. Dogs, of course, will go for it. As Charles goes under center. And he's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, they tried, I think, to draw him off sides there with Charles coming under center for the first time that I can remember. I don't think I've ever seen him take a snap under center. Even in victory formation throughout the year, he's been taking those in shotgun. So I don't know if they have ever snapped the ball with a quarterback under center.
Well, and they might have been a little confused, but we'll take a break here. 9:37 left here in the first half. 14-0 is the score, and the Dogs are right on the cusp of another score. Here we go, folks. 4th and 1, ball on the 6. Now, the Dogs are going to get
they ran
more
it in,
than just a yard.
They ran it down there with a quarterback sneak for a touchdown, but it's going to be a legal motion on the Dogs. They brought both Brewer and Charles up to the line real quick for the snap, but the problem was they weren't set for the full second before the snap happened. So that sneak had to happen. They had to wait a beat before they called it, or not move both players up into motion like that. So that's going to back them up 5, and now look at 4th and goal, or 4th and 6.
And that's just kind of the way it is. Obviously, if you had a kicking game, now would be an excellent time to try to get 3.
Absolutely, this would be a perfect kicking opportunity. This could also be the one opportunity now to see that first pass. And I'm looking straight at number 24, Remy Jolwani.
Tempo will line up wide left, Wani wide right.
So they got three wide, all singled up with a single high safety.
This time we have a flag in the backfield. It's going to be on Portland again. So they're just willing themselves out of contention for the first down.
Yeah, they just took way too long to get up to call that play and get up to the line of scrimmage.
And the way it's done is Eric Milligan running off the field for Kennebunk to.
So now Kennebunk can look straight pass here, bring in an extra DB. They brought out one of their big guys up front, so now they're going to have the 3-man rush again. And you can see here it's 2 safeties in the middle of the field.
Charles back to throw. He goes over the middle and nothing doing. So the Dogs are held, and the Rams will take over on downs on their own 16-yard line.
Yeah, the play was rushed. There was a rush right up the middle. He had to throw it early, and didn't look comfortable with that motion and the throw. And fortunately, it just went incomplete and wasn't intercepted, because there were a lot of people. There was a lot of green on the outside of the field that Kennebunk could have run down the field with.
So here we go. Kennebunk will be 1st and 10 on the 16. Cornell under center. Hands it off, and a great defensive effort by Brody Viola.
Yeah, Brody Viola did not let Cataldi go anywhere on that play. Injury on the field for Portland.
So
that's their left guard, Colin Kelly.
Yeah, so we're going to take a timeout here with 9:17 left, and there was no gain on that. It's 2nd and 10, ball on the 16. We'll be back. So 2nd and 10. Back to throw is Cornell, incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 10, as on the sidelines over here we have Colin Kelly being helped off. And
they were looking for Jonah Barrow coming out of the backfield on like this kind of little run into the flat play. He was open. There was nobody near him, but the ball just kind of sailed on him a little bit, and Cornell put it just out of reach.
So there are some open Rams in some of these pass plays, but they're just a little bit outside their. The ball is just coming a little bit outside their outstretched
That
arms.
was the first time I saw a truly open wide receiver or a running back.
3rd and 10. Cornell back to throw.
Tipped at the line.
Yeah, that was a great defensive effort. It's either Charles Abramson Thompson, if I'm reading the number right.
Yeah, they were looking for Max Andrews on a deep slant, and he was underneath the safety, but that would be a tight window even if they could get the ball down there.
That might have been.
Yeah, ball tipped at the line is a big stop for this defense.
That might have been 81 Brody Viola on that, actually. So there we go. It's 4th and 10, and Kennebunk will punt from very close to their end zone. Whew, nice kick.
Yeah, low
Caught
line
by
drive.
Remy Jowani. What great hands he has.
He's got to put that ball away.
Yeah.
He was running with that way out from his body, and he's had a couple fumbles this year, and I think when he tries to make those athletic moves that he has, the ball just kind of flails around a little bit. He's got to tuck that in tight. People are going to come swiping at it. It was a nice low line drive kick out to the 50, so that kind of flips the field a little bit for this Rams defense.
First and 10 for the Dogs. Charles up the middle. And one way to bring him down is to pull his shirt. Maybe the only way to get him down. And the first in that tackle is Greg Compton.
You can see that time the Rams defense put 4 men on the line, and just before the snap, they actually brought their 2 tackles in real close over the center to prevent that run up the middle.
It was a 3-yard gain for Charles, 2nd and 7. Buck takes the handoff and goes to the left side. He looks for nice penetration by Kennebunk, and he's maybe lucky to have gotten a yard or 2 there.
Yeah, they strung that out nicely. I was thinking just before the play, that was the perfect play call. The defensive line had shaded to the left side, and they came across the formation to the right and had plenty of room out there, but those linebackers for Kennebunk got up quickly and was able to string that play out and prevented a big gain. They only gave up a yard or 2 on that one, forcing 3rd and 5 now.
7.5 minutes left in the first half. 14-0 is the score. The Portland Bulldogs are in front of the Kennebunk Rams here in the semifinal playoff game. Charles will keep it and goes for the first down and much more. Changes direction. He's got 1 to beat. He is way too fast. Touchdown, 45-yard touchdown for Kennedy Charles.
Yeah, they had him up the middle. They really did. Kennebunk was right there, but he is just too slippery and too elusive to let those one-person tackles. And then once he's in the open field, no one is going to catch Kennedy Charles. He is the fastest player out on the field right now.
And you know, his long runs for the last 2 weeks have all been impactful. A touchdown every time.
Every time. Once he breaks free and into that secondary, there's nobody there. He's just gone. And with this power run game that Portland is playing, Kennebunk is forced to bring in another defensive lineman, which removes one of your faster safeties, which allows Charles, once he gets through that line, to run.
So now for the 2-point conversion. A muffed snap. It's
that
fumbled.
That can be returned.
It's kicked and kicked around some more.
That can be returned for 2 points, but not quite.
Because of the great defensive effort by Isaac Alkafaji.
Big Isaac just kept running that play down. Fortunately, Kennebunk just couldn't quite get the handle on that and kept kicking it down the field, and finally recovered it around the 40. And then he was trying to start to run at that point. By that time, Al-Kafaji was already on his horse and was able to make that tackle.
The other game tonight is Massabesic South Portland, and the winner of that game will play the winner of this game at Fitzpatrick Stadium this coming Friday night.
Yeah, that win over South Portland in the last game of the season was huge for the Bulldogs. They don't have to leave this field. They are going to be here throughout. They win this week, they go on to next week. They win next week. The state games are right here as well. So they have home field advantage throughout. They just have to keep winning.
And as Portland Bulldogs broadcasters, we hope they're here. Dave and I would not be, however, because, Dave, you're going to be in Minnesota watching your son Ben play football, and I'm going to be on business in Nevada.
Yep, it's senior day for Carleton College Knights. They have this is their last game of the regular season. Next week will be playoffs. They get to face number 5 St. John's.
Well, they've had a great season, did lead the nation in offensive points. And that's taken a nice gallant run there by number 5, Gray Compton.
Yeah, Compton that's the same play that they tried before with that high pop-up kick, forcing a fair catch. This time Compton just took it and said, we need some points and we need some plays, and was able to pick up 15 or 18 yards on the return. Sets them up somewhere around the 42-ish yard line, which is great field position for Kennebunk.
And what we've seen repeatedly on special teams is number 27, Braden Wales, making a nice play for the Dogs. So, 1st and 10, ball on the 42. And a great defensive effort for no gain.
Yeah, Braden Wales was right in the middle of that one again, too.
Well, to now, the Dogs have actually neutralized Jack Cataldi, who has only about 6 yards in this game.
Yeah, he
5.
Yeah, he ran wild last week. 104 yards on the ground, another 83 through the air, multiple touchdowns. He was a machine last week, and Portland is really keyed on that and forcing Kennebunk to go other directions.
So Cornell
batted down again.
Yep. Portland, of course, is led by Jason McLeod. Assistants are Skip Capone, Mike Rutherford, of course, defensive whiz, and really just a whiz, period. Joseph Johnson, John Williams, John Misowitz, Dylan Rutkov, Ryan Edwards, Rocco Navarro. And Principal Sheila Jepson, our athletic director at Portland High School, Lance Johnson. Trainers Ryan Lucas. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Throwing down here, possibly. And
yeah, short drop. He just threw that a little bit too hard. They were trying to hit the tight end, Jacob Morris, coming across the middle in a lot of traffic, but he was only a couple yards deep, and that was just thrown a little bit too hard for him to handle. Even if he did catch that, he wasn't really going to pick up the first down from there.
If we are here this coming week at Fitzpatrick Stadium, the game will still be covered by our expert crew and station manager Henry Gio, along with Seth Gio. So that takes a Portland bounce, a Kennebunk bounce, and it's going to end up right around the 25-yard line where the Dogs will take over 1st and 10. 5:49 left in the first half. Here we go, 1st and 10, ball on the 25. Kennedy Charles hands it off to Brewer up the middle. He's going to gain about 4. Looks like 4 yards. Should be 2nd and 6.
This power game for Portland is really still working well. Kennebunk brought in their extra linemen. Now they're running with the four defensive linemen, but still this offensive line for Portland has not let up, and they are just moving the ball.
Buck looks for an opening, and just great defensive effort by Jack Cataldi.
Yeah, Cataldi was not having it that time. Chased down Buck in the backfield and just threw him down for a loss. He was mad on that play. Maybe that's going to fire up this Kennebunk team. It certainly fired up the fans.
So a 1 yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 7. Here we go. Charles is going to take it himself. He's going to try to find some daylight here. He's chased by a few. He's on the right side. It is so hard to bring him down all the way down to the 40, to the 39-yard line of Kennebunk.
Yeah, 35-yard pickup around the outside. He looked like he was trapped in the backfield, but again, that speed that he has, he was able to break contain and come across the formation, zip down the sideline, and then Cataldi coming from the other side of the field was the last man to beat that time.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 39. I do not believe the Dogs have punted yet tonight. Charles back to throw. It's deep. Buck is open. It's a touchdown, a 39-yard touchdown pass. Kennedy Charles to Regan Buck.
Yeah, Buck was wide open down the sideline. No one went with him. Kennebunk again sold out for the run, and they just went over the top, and he launched it down the sideline, and Buck was just waiting for it, really.
So it's 26-0, folks. 3:38 left in the first half. The Dogs will go for 2, try to make it a 28-point lead. Charles hands it off to Brewer. This time he does not make it. And first in on that is Jack Cataldi.
All day long for him.
So 3:38 left in the first half. 26-0 is the score. The Dogs in front. Here we go. Kennedy Charles to kick off. He's been kicking short kicks. That's a long kick for him. 16-yard pickup. Picked up and still, whoa, boom. What a hit by Kennedy Charles on Max Andrews.
Yeah, Max Andrews took that up the left side. Blocking was fantastic, and you thought for a second he might have a lane all the way down. And then you remember that Kennedy Charles is the safety kicker who plays kind of safety center field on the kickoffs, and you're not going to outrun him.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 48. The best field position Kennebunk has had all night to start. But with that effort, first in is Isaac Alkafaji.
I'm going to mention Andrew Brewer again because I have to. He's the one who forced that run up and inside. He hit the running back in the backfield immediately. Bounced off, didn't make the tackle, but he allowed the troops to rally and make the tackle up the middle for a short gain.
3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. Ball on the 49. Cornell back to throw. This time he converts. A nice pass to Max Andrews.
That was a beautiful pass. Gavin Bennett was bearing right down on him, but that time he was able to actually set his feet and throw for a first down, and that's the first big real play since the first carry of the game for Kennebunk.
And that's a 13-yard pass. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 38. It worked once. They're going to try it again. And this time Charles is the closest to it, as that was intended for Gray Compton. So
yeah, there was nobody there. They had Portland had 2 deep safeties there running with Compton the whole way down the field. If that ball was even close, it was going to be either knocked down or intercepted.
Here we go, 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Cornell.
Good completion on the side.
Yep, Max Andrews.
Rolled out of trouble. There was nobody around him. He could have actually run for probably 5 or 8 yards on that play without any problem, but did see his receiver streaking across the formation and was able to hit him before he went out of bounds. So that's a couple nice plays put together by Kennebunk.
So up the middle this time, as Kennebunk tries to put something together. I think that the give there is to Jonah Barstow.
Yeah. Again, now they're starting to feel it a little bit. This offensive line is getting some traction, moving the defense around a little bit. Braden Wales made the tackle, but it wasn't until 6 yards downfield.
Just under 2 minutes here. 2nd and 5, ball on the 17-yard line. And Cornell has found a niche. This time, though, he's not going to be able to find Max Andrews.
Keeps looking for Andrews on the boundary, and that time it was well covered by Andrew Brewer.
I've heard you call that name before tonight.
Just once or twice.
So 3rd and 5, ball on the 17. We're going to have we have a flag.
Yeah, there's a flag. There 2 men came in motion for Kennebunk, and a Portland player jumped. So I'm not sure which penalty they're going to take first.
Well, it's going to be Portland offsides. That provides a first down. And the ball is just outside the 10-yard line here.
Yeah.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12.
I think Portland was hoping for that play there. They wanted to get that stop, and they got a little aggressive on the rush, trying to hold the shutout for halftime.
The keeper for Cornell, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. That's a 12-yard touchdown run for Jack Cornell.
First time all night we've seen Cornell actually keep the ball. They faked the handoff to Barstow up the middle, and he just kept going around the outside. There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag, though, and it's going to come back.
So they're going to call holding on the outside there. I'm not sure who it was. We were just kind of watching. I was just kind of surprised that they actually kept it with a keeper. Cornell hadn't done any kind of even fake to run all night, and he was able to get around the corner, but the hold sets them back. And now they're looking at it was actually downfield a little bit, so it's not a full 10-yard penalty.
So first and 10, first and 15, the ball from the 17.
Yeah, the hold was a spot foul.
Yep. Cornell back to throws. Nobody there.
Yeah, that was tipped again. That time was Romano McQuillan coming in and tipping the ball. Knew he couldn't get to the quarterback, but just went up with his hands and was able to get a couple fingertips on it, knocking that ball wide, setting up second and long now.
McElwain is fired up, if you saw that.
Yes, he is. And this is the defense. That penalty was big for Portland. This puts Kennebunk, who hasn't really shown big play capability all night, in a second and long situation. Knocking the ball down on first down was a big play for them.
Second and 15, ball on the 17 still. Cornell back to throw. He's got plenty of time. And
wow.
Nice effort.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be a touchdown for Jonah Barstow. 17-yard reception.
That was a grown man play right there. The ball should have been intercepted, but he took it right away. He then got his feet right, headed upfield, and ran over another Bulldog on his way to a touchdown.
And the kicker will be Max Andrews. And that is a monster kick. And it's going to be 26-7 with a minute 16 left in the first half. So now for the kickoff. A deep kick picked up by Hunter Temple. Comes the other way. Nice return.
Yeah, so with a minute 9 and a solid 3-score lead here, Portland isn't going to want to make any mistakes. I don't think they'd want to risk putting the ball in the air here. I'd hope they would want to rather go into halftime with this good lead and just kind of control it. They are going to have to kick off at the beginning of the second half.
It's unfortunate to see number 50, Colin Kelly, on the sidelines with crutches.
Yeah, they took his shoe off, and he's going to go to the locker room with crutches.
Kennedy Charles is just going to run it up and get about a 4-yard gain. And as you said, nothing stupid.
Yeah, they're going to keep it on the ground. I don't think Kennebunk is even going to try to call a timeout. I think they're happy with the score. I think they're happy with the momentum that they just got. And if they can prevent some of the big plays happening for Portland, they can go into halftime feeling better about themselves.
Kennedy Charles goes up the middle. Gets maybe 2.
Yeah, they just ran a simple little quarterback sneak. Maybe try to fool the defense a little bit. But again, not doing anything crazy. Just take the snap. And essentially, they could have taken a knee there rather than run the ball up. But they had 2 hands on the ball and wasn't going to make a mistake. And they're just going to let the clock run out here and go into halftime up 19.
So we're going to be with you in a moment to wrap up the first half with Mike Hoffer and Dave. Right now, it's 26-7. The Dogs are in front. So, guys, it's 26-7 at halftime. Mike, what does it look like on the field when you're watching, down on the field, when you're watching Kennedy Charles, who's having another explosive game?
Well, when you watch him, you better look fast because he can turn the corner and just utterly take off and leave the defense in his wake, and he's done that 3 times. And, I mean, really, he's been the difference here. His ability to get down the field and defensively until that last Kennebunk drive, Portland had held him to 20 yards. So, I mean, they've done a very good job really both sides doing what you have to do to get a healthy lead. And, we got a long way to go here, but I think the coaches would have taken a 26-7 lead at halftime before the game for sure.
Now, let me ask you, Dave, of course, you talked about the keys before the game, and one of them was to contain the big running backs for Kennebunk, and for the most part, the Dogs have done that.
Yeah, Cataldi only has 36 total yards. After having 3 touchdowns and 100 yards rushing and 80 yards receiving last week, to keep him to 36 is phenomenal. Cornell has only 44 yards passing. They finally started kind of opening it up a little bit after their run game wasn't going anywhere. And Compton only has really 24 yards too. So there's really not much going on the offensive side of the ball for Kennebunk.
Well, folks, we're going to bring you second half action in a moment. We are back for second half action. Steve Schwartz, Dave Levine, along with Valentino Cartonio on camera and Ryder Lozier on statistics tonight. Doing a great job and helping us here on Channel 3. All year long, Jason McLeod has really just been so cooperative and helpful to the Channel 3 cause. Picked up short around the 30-yard line. Rumbling, stumbling is number 10, Brady Stone.
Yeah, short kick that time. I think it was just a miss hit. Very short, picked up on the bounce real quick and sets up Kennebunk in great field position. Now they have all the momentum from the first half. Even though they were down 26-0, that last drive really kind of sparked something in them. Came up with a kind of a stop after that, and now they have the ball right at midfield, really. Looking to kind of pile on.
That was an 18-yard kickoff return, but we're going to have basically maybe a one-yard gain here.
That's the classic rugby scrum right there. Everybody on the offense, everybody on the defense, and really no gain, 1-yard gain on the carry.
Gave a couple on the play. Ball to 48, second down and 8.
It's going to be officially 2nd and 8 with the ball on the 48-yard line. Cornell in the shotgun now. One in motion. And there's going to be a flag on that, and it's an incomplete pass, but we have a hold, I think, in the backfield.
Yeah, Portland got in really, really quick on that rush, forcing a wide throw on that. But usually when you see one man running through free like that, it's a formation of some type. I don't know what that signal was.
Because it looks like a loss of down?
I'm not sure. It wasn't intentional grounding. There was a receiver right there, but they didn't. But they're waving off the penalty. That's what it is. The ball stays put, no penalty.
Okay. So it's a do-over.
Well, the loss. It's a play. The play happened, but no penalty.
Fair enough. And back to throw and a sack. In on the sack is Romano McElwain, and boy, is he fired up.
Yeah, he came in that time again. The pump fake brought him up in the air and put his hands up again. But when he came down, just was able to grab Cornell by the shoulder and throw him down for a 7-yard loss. And that sets up the Dogs in beautiful position to return this punt. So a quick 3-and-out for Kennebunk after having the ball at great field position. Ooh.
Yeah, Charles gets the ball close to the 30, and he's going to go and be brought out. Excuse me, Remy Joe Wani.
Yeah. Your job as a punt returner is to make the first person miss and then it's all on you to try to follow your blockers up the field. And to get a 7 or 8 yard return on that punt is pretty good for Portland. Sets them up at the 39-yard line, and see what their offense has going for them in this to start this second half.
Well, the run has worked for the most part this game. Ball's on the 39, 1st and 10. Charles to Buck. This time, Buck is stopped for a loss. The first in is Brady Stone and a host of others.
They've tried running that play a couple times, bringing Buck across the formation, taking the handoff in stride and coming across to the side. He just hasn't been able to turn the corner and outrun this Kennebunk defense.
So no gain, 2nd and 10. Charles to the right side, Remy Jowani.
Yeah, there's that extension of their run game with a quick screen out to Wani, and see what he can do one-on-one with the defender. Big, long kid, so he was able to get upfield and pick up some good yardage on that, bringing up 3rd and manageable for this offense.
Yeah, it was a 6-yard gain, and Moose Keys was in on the tackle. So it'll be 3rd and 4. Charles will come in with a play. He's got 2 wide left. He's going to run up the middle. He's going to get the first down. I think he's got forward progress to the 50-yard line. So it'll be a 5-yard carry. He'll get the first down.
Yeah, that's a smart play call by Portland. They didn't run outside. It was more of a power run, again behind Brewer, leading the way, and it was a smart play by them to get upfield as quickly as possible. I'm sure they would have considered, if it was 4th and short, to go for it again. But getting that first down is big. It moves the chains, gets them some more it gives them another opportunity to make a big play.
1st and 10, ball on the 50. 8 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Charles back to throw, deep to Remy Jowani, too far ahead.
Yeah, there was pressure on Charles a little bit, and he threw it way too hard for Wani, who was open. He wants that one back a little bit, because I think he saw the pressure and rushed his throw just a hair. If he could have stepped into that and really thrown it with more accuracy, he would have been. That was a touchdown waiting to happen.
Ball at midfield.
Charles takes the snap, goes around a blocker and to the left side, and he's going to gain about 7 here. We'll see.
Yeah, so they ran away from Owen Bork on the defensive line, who came in like a shot off the left side. They've been bouncing their defensive line around a little bit, shuffling them left to right, and so they're trying to line them up in slightly different positions.
3rd and 4, ball on the 44. Brewer in the middle, very close to the first down, but may have been denied by John Ogden and company.
Picked up half of it. He followed Braden Wales from the tight end position, trying to lead block up there, and they ran with power that time to try to get I think half or 3/4 of the distance, and I think that's what they managed to do, so that they're going to look to go for it on 4th down. With the way they've been running and the way the offensive line has been playing, it's a gutsy call right here, but their defense has been great. So if they end up turning it over, they're thinking they can hold.
4th and 2. Charles back to throw. He looks for Remy Joe. Woody! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, ball was underthrown, but Remy Joe saw it and tried to take a step back and catch that ball, but he knows it was on him. He's patting his chest like he dropped that ball. That was going to be a tougher catch, but he had it right in his mitts. It was a great play call with everybody sucked up to the line of scrimmage, looking for that 2-yard kind of power run. Plunge play right up the middle.
He was actually followed, though, step by step by the freshman Austin West, the freshman linebacker. It's now 1st and 10, and it'll be the Rams' ball as they take over on downs on their own 42. The pitch, the flea flicker, and a tremendous completion by Gray Compton to Max Andrews.
That was a beautiful play. Gray had all the time in the world, and Hunter Temple got caught looking in the backfield a little bit, and by the time he was able to turn around, the ball was already in the air, and he was beaten by a couple steps. Good makeup speed to prevent the touchdown because he was wide open, but this sets up Kennebunk nicely at the 20.
Nothing doing there, however.
So that was Andrew Brewer on the tackle again, coming from his linebacker spot.
It was about a 65-yard completion there for Kennebunk. 2nd and 8. Back to throw Cornell.
Good coverage right there.
Aiden McGowan
was step for step, looked back for the ball. That was beautiful textbook coverage. No touching of the wide receiver, so there was no risk of pass interference. That was just nice defensive play right there.
So, 3rd and 8, ball on the 19.
It's a big play for the defense right here.
Cornell pitches back, and great defensive effort. Hit first, of course, by Brewer, and then brought down by a gaggle of dogs,
Bennett was right in.
Al-Kafaji.
And Bennett was right there, too. So they were able to hit him early, but he was still able to get a couple extra yards, bringing it to 4th and 5-ish instead of 4th and 7. So they're going to definitely go for it. This is outside of field goal range for them, and also not worth punting. So you go for it here. If the Dogs can get a stop, they should be able to run out the 3rd quarter and stay up 3 scores.
Cornell back to throw.
Wide open and missed him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He'd like that back.
Yes, he would. Running back was coming out of the backfield. He was wide open, leaking out into the flat. And the ball was overthrown a little bit, and it forced Cataldi to really kind of twist his feet around, and he got kind of caught up in everything and went over. The ball was just a little too high and too far behind him. Nice play call. Good concept. Just not executed right.
So the Dogs will take over on their own 16, deep in their own territory. I believe probably the the deepest they've been in their own territory tonight, coming off on a first down here. Charles. That time he stood up after what looks to be about 4 yards.
Yeah, Jacob Morris in there again with the tackle. Got a couple yards on it, a positive play.
So it'll be 2nd and 6, ball on the 20.
So with Colin Kelly out of the game, they brought in Gavin Bennett to take his place over at left guard.
Charles hands off to Buck on the left side, but that time he is tied up by 3 Rams.
Yeah, they've tried that play numerous times tonight, and it really hasn't worked. I think just once. Kennebunk is really just stringing that play out and not allowing any Buck to come upfield at all.
Jacob Morris was first for the Rams on that. And now it'll be 3rd and 4. The ball on the 22. Charles gets around one blocker, can't get past everybody, and wrapping around him is Max Andrews, so the Dogs are going to punt.
Yeah, that was made by Moose Keys. He came up and held the edge, not allowing the Charles to get outside, forced him back inside to all the tacklers. And when you, even though it's 4th and short here, Portland isn't going to risk it. They're just going to punt away for the first time and let their defense play defense.
Boom. So it's a high kick. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it went out of bounds around the 50, I thought. And that's where they're going to mark it.
So Kennebunk will now have the ball 1st and 10, so they start once again with good field position. Whether or not they can execute is something else again. They had a little something going with the passing game earlier.
So Portland's defense is called on again to get a stop. They were able to manage. They were able to get one last time with 1:28 left in the half or the quarter. I'm sure they're going to want to stay up this much going into the 4th.
That's a 5-yard carry by Jonah Barstow. Tackled by Gavin Bennett.
Brady Stone.
Yeah, a nice gain for him as he gets the first down.
Yeah, 10-yard carry for Stone to get the first down. First time we've really called his name on offense. So again, Kennebunk is starting to move the ball a little bit more effectively than they did in the first half. Portland defense still holding up, but some of these bigger plays are going to start to wear on the defense a little bit.
1st and 10, ball on 36, and each time Kennebunk starts, they start with a little bit better field position. And I think that is another carry for Barstow. We'll double check that, but in
Yeah,
any event,
Barstow had it. Brady Viola with the tackle, but not before another 7-yard gain.
so that's the end of the third quarter. The Dogs still in command at the moment. The score 26-7. Dogs in front. Here we go to the start of the fourth quarter. And close to the first down will be Jonah Barstow. No indication yet. Going to be shy. So it's going to be...
No, they are going to move the chains.
That's what I thought. So it'll be 1st and 10 with the ball on the 25.
Yeah, Kennebunk's picking up the pace a little bit, too. They're just going to ride Jonah Barstow now. That's another 8-yard gain for him.
And first in is Brody Viola.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, their power game is going great. Portland's going to have to start sucking up their linebackers a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage and try to stop this run, which is going to leave them vulnerable to a pass.
And again, to Barstow.
Yeah, he's just getting the ball, putting his head down and running through people. And that's another 5-yard pickup for him and a first down. Portland defense, Kennebunk has found something with Barstow now, and Portland's got to get a little bit more aggressive at the line of scrimmage to stop him.
Back to throw,
yeah.
And
they tried the play action that time with Barstow. Why not? Because he's been running great. So they tried the play action on a short 3-step drop, and that ball was batted down again. Portland being very disciplined, getting their hands up in that passing lane. That's 3 or 4 batted balls.
And it will be 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 14. And we will have a timeout for Portland High School. So we'll take one too. 10:38 left in the fourth quarter. 26-7 is the score. Here we go. Barstow.
Wow, big line push by the line there. At some point, you just got to take out. You're gonna have to go low on him. He's got such strong legs. Tackle him around the thighs and bring him down. That's at 2nd down and 10, able to pick up 6 yards. Really changes the dynamic for Kennebunk's offense and play call right here.
No, 3rd and 4. And Barstow up the middle. He's going to probably get that first down. So it'll be 1st and goal. We don't have the indication yet.
You're going to measure? Yeah, again, that's 2 carries there that he's getting 5-6 yards a carry every time he's touching this ball. So Portland is going to have to change their defense a little bit here and really focus on stopping him and let some of your other players play very disciplined and not let the pass get over their head, not let the outside run happen. So it just came up short, so it's 4th and inches now. I think Portland would have rather had them had the first down here.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down that time.
Yeah. Barstow again just got his legs going. Portland, I think, would have rather had that as a first down carry, and hopefully they can stop him trying to get 5 yards, because you're at this point, the way he's been running the ball, you're not going to stop him from getting a single yard.
You know, if you're a Kennebunk fan, you're wondering what took so long to get the ball to Josh Barstow.
Exactly. He's been the workhorse on this drive, and I wouldn't give it to anyone else right here.
I should say Jonah Barstow, and let's see.
That was a keeper. They faked it to Barstow that time, and it was a quarterback keeper.
2-yard touchdown run for Jack Cornell. Now to try to make it 14 will be Max Andrews. The holder is Jack Cataldi. Down, through, and good. So it's 26-14 with 9:17 left. The Dogs are in front. So there you have it, 9:17 left here in regulation. Dogs still up. It's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, we were talking off camera, Steve. Portland has to do something on this drive right here. Little onside kick.
Oh my gosh, they recover it.
Yeah, they did. That Portland didn't even react to that. Portland didn't even move, and that ball was that. Now the question is, did he touch it before it got to the 50-yard line?
Oh gosh, it looked like it went 10 yards.
The ball went 10 yards. He had the ball at past the 50, but it matters where he touches the ball. If he touches it on the before the 50, they're gonna say that's an illegal touching.
And there's a flag, so
that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna back him up 5 and try it again, because Kennebunk recovered, they get to try a kick again. But Portland really has to stay disciplined on that. They didn't even react to that short kick.
So now Coach McLeod says to his good hands people on the front line, watch out.
Yeah, and that's nice job by the referee there. Hunter Temple on the far side was standing on the line, and the referee walked over and asked him to back up a step. Nice play, nice job by the referee to make sure no penalties like that occur. So after the illegal touching penalty, Kennebunk is backed up to the 35 for another. They're going to try the onside kick again. Referee's discussing it. It was a beautiful onside kick last time, so let's see what they can do this time.
Got to have more cowbell.
Oh, a little pooch over the top.
And just covered.
Yeah, Louis Thornton. Beautiful play. He ran back, caught the ball, and went right down. Knew there was no blocking. Didn't want to risk anything. Just made the catch and fell down. That was a perfect play by him. Smart football play.
Thurston also the backup quarterback. Sam Esposito we think is suited up here, but he's been injured all year, and he's on the sidelines right now.
Yeah, Sam really hasn't gotten into the game at all. I think they're just trying to keep him healthy and use him for later if they need him.
1st and 10, ball on the 37. Charles with the ball. He's going to go up the middle. Gets a nice block, and boom.
Yeah, big pickup by him. Tackled by Timothy Crowell.
That's about a 20-yard gain for him.
And that's exactly what Portland needed. They were able, not only did they recover an onside kick at around the 40-ish yard line, a big first down run really flips the field. So even if they have to punt, it's going to force Kennebunk to go the length of the field. And that running game, though it's working, chews up a lot of clock.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 43. Charles takes the snap, looks to get some daylight on the outside. He's wrapped around by Timothy Crowell and others.
So picking up 4 yards before he goes out of bounds. Sure, the coach is going to start talking to his players and say stay in bounds, keep the clock running.
8.5 minutes left here in regulation, and the Dogs are threatening. It's 2nd and 6, balls on the 39. Dogs have a 12-point lead. Charles with the ball. This time he's going to get stopped short because of the play of Brady Stone and others.
Yeah, that play was clearly a play saying we're going to go for it on 4th down. Let's run the ball. Let's get a couple on 3rd down. We're going to run the ball again, get a couple, and then on 4th down we can run the ball again, get a couple more, and move the chains.
3rd and 3.
They're going to want to keep the ball in the field of play here. They don't want to go out of bounds. They want to chew up as much time as they can.
Joe Wani in motion. Charles will get the first down and much, much more, and a 36-yard touchdown run for Kennedy Charles. He does it again.
And we mentioned Gavin Bennett coming in as an injury replacement for Colin Kelly, and he was 20 yards downfield making a block. That is the play right there that's going to send Portland into the next round.
The score is 32-14. It's a 3-score gain.
Now, they were warming up to kick an extra point on the sideline earlier.
We're going to have a timeout, I think.
Portland, yeah, I think they're thinking about, I think they're going to go for the extra point. That's why they called timeout.
We'll take 1-2 with 7.5 minutes left in this contest. Folks, what you see is Miles Hang attempting the extra point for the first time this season, at least of the games that we've covered, Dave.
Yeah, he was warming up on the sideline before, and it's blocked. Yeah, they just let the rush come in too quick, and he didn't have a chance. They were looking to make that extra point to go up 19, and that would have really helped them right there. But 18 is still, you're still talking 3 scores, and with a minute or 7.5 minutes to go in the game, this Kennebunk offense is going to have to do something a little different than their run game, because that takes too much time.
We saw Brody Viola skipping off a little gingerly after that, and you have to wonder if not having tried extra points for the bulk of the season, that the line just wasn't prepared for it.
The blockers haven't really practiced because you haven't really done it all year, and with a couple backup players in there and a different formation, it's different. And the block came in, and it was a big play for Kennebunk to block it. But Portland is still well in command here, and if their defense doesn't give up any big plays and just gives up those smaller 7-8 yard chunk plays on the ground, they should be okay.
There's the left foot kick right there, and now there's a whistle. I guess
his knee was down.
Yeah, so that was Jacob Morris whose knee was down.
Jacob Morris fumbled it on the bounce because it took a kind of a weird hop on him, and then when he went down to get it, his knee was on the ground, and that's just habit to pick up the ball with a knee on the ground instead of bending over. And in high school and college, when your knee is down, you're down. So Portland squibs it to prevent the long, any kind of big run back, giving up some field position for it.
1st and 10, ball on 33. Another flea flicker here. And Temple was actually pushed just a bit.
Temple was not fooled on that play at all. They tried that little flea flicker again, or the halfback option throw, and looking downfield to Andrews again, and the defense saw that the whole way. Fool me once, that whole adage, fool me once. He wasn't fooled this time, and there was perfect coverage.
So 2nd and 10, ball on the 33. Still.
Another pass. Intercepted.
On the right side. And a touchdown for number 81, Brody Viola.
Yeah, he just jumped that route in the flat. They tried to hit the wide receiver on a little comeback route, and Brody Viola just jumped that route and was waiting for it. Took it all the way down the sideline for the touchdown.
He's actually down on the far side of the field. And I'm not really sure what happened over there, but
he kind of high-stepped into the end zone, and we talked about it before that he came off the field a little gingerly. So last time, so maybe he just turned an ankle going into the end zone.
The 33-yard return on the interception makes it 38-14, and we're going to take a break. So Brody Viola came off the field under his own power and gets the congratulations of his team. And now Portland will try the 2-point conversion to make it 40-14. In the corner.
Fade.
Whoa, my goodness. In the corner. Well done.
Yeah, that's what he can do. I mean, he just goes up over everybody. Remy Jowani's just tall and long, and he was in triple coverage in the corner, and he just went up and took it away.
So it's 40-14, folks. This game is well in hand.
Yeah, we were talking one score for Portland made it a 3-possession game, and really kind of almost put it out of reach for Kennebunk because their offense doesn't have that real big play capability. And then once they have that interception running down the sideline, that's all she wrote.
Portland's going to be 2-0 versus the Kennebunk Rams this season.
Yeah, they played earlier in the season and won a hard-fought battle in that game, but that was again with a different offense. Kennedy Charles was a receiver at that point. He wasn't this Wildcat quarterback that they have now.
It's a low kick, picked up at about the 23. And heading the other way is Jack Cataldi. And he's got some daylight, but he could not beat Remy Jowani.
Yeah, that's what Cataldi can do when he gets the ball in the open field. He's got quick feet. He can make people miss. Runs with power, not as fast as Charles, but a little bit stronger than Charles. But Portland has just been able to bottle him up all day and hasn't allowed anything from him.
It's about a 35-yard return for Cataldi. 1st and 10, the ball's on the 41.
So we're going to go pass here. They're coming out of shotgun for the first time all night. Whoa. Missed the snap count there. Cataldi came in motion from left to right, and as soon as he hit the end of the line, he took off a field, and the ball is still on with the center. He hadn't snapped it yet. 5 yards downfield before the whistle could even blow.
Well, he's fast.
He is fast.
1st and 15 now. Ball on the 46. Back to throw. It's over the middle. And a nice effort.
Yeah, that's Cataldi. He ran straight up the seam, a little seam route there, and then kind of bent it in a little bit and into the middle of that zone defense, into the soft spot. And that's how Kennebunk is going to have to try to play the rest of this game. Go into the air. That's the first shotgun snap that we've seen all night from them. Everything else has been under center. But when you have to kind of go pass, that's what you're going to do.
1st and 10, ball on the 27.
Play action.
Yeah, there's a sack. Nice effort by, let's see, who is that? I saw an 8 in the...
That's Theo Paquette.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Ben Trenowith is 48 tonight. Things we don't know unless we're told by...
That's why we have spotters, Steve.
Oh, bounces off a 1. Very tough Barstow.
Yeah, he runs hard. He is not going to make you miss in the open field. That's not his game. He'd rather just put his shoulder down and run you over. And you've seen him do it all night long, especially in that last drive. He's just running people over.
So 3rd and 8. Cornell to throw, completion, and 1st down and more for Max Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews, there was soft coverage on the far side, not wanting to get beat deep. Andrews took a 4-step route and just kind of waited for the ball. The ball was right on time in his hands, and he was able to turn upfield for the 1st down. And more importantly, get out of bounds.
So still some life left in Kennebunk.
They're not going to go down without a fight.
And they never do, the Rams. Great tradition.
Yeah.
I've covered more than enough games in Kennebunk. There's a completion on the left side.
That's Andrews again.
Yeah, and it looks like it's another 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal, or very close to it.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to go down without a fight. And Coach Joe Rafferty coached his 400th game last week for Kennebunk after being with this program for 44 seasons.
My goodness.
So he's a fixture over there on that sideline, and he's not going to let his kids go down without swinging.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 1, and Barstow gets the touchdown from the 3.
Yeah, they're definitely going to play this out. They don't care that they're down 4 scores. They're going to keep on pounding that ball, doing whatever they have to do to get into that end zone.
You can expect an onside kick to come.
So down 20, they're going to go for 2 to try to make this 18. Make it a 3-score game, but at least that one of those 3 can be now a field goal. Timeout.
We'll take one too. 4:21 left. 40-20 is the score. Here we go, folks. Cornell throws too high.
Yeah, interesting play call. Now that I had a chance to do some math in the break, I'm not sure why you go for 2 there. You're down 20 points. You take the extra point. You're down 19. That's 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions, and a field goal to tie. Now you're actually going to need 3 touchdowns to actually do something here. So, granted, you might not have that great of a field goal game, but we've seen the extra points have been money. He's probably good from 30 yards out at least. So if you can get close, that would be maybe you stop short, kick the field goal, and try another onside kick. Your time is the enemy right now. So an interesting play call.
That catching a little bit of the cheerleader action. They're really great athletes this year, and tumbling on the track. And here we go. It's going to be an impossibility at this point, Dave, with down 20 points here.
Yeah, well, we've seen him recover one onside kick, and they were half a yard short from making that stick. So they do have it in their playbook, and they've actually kind of practiced it seems. So we'll see what Portland can do on the defensive side.
Well, they kick it. And, just falling on the far side.
He didn't get the bounce he wanted. He was hoping for that. He was hoping for that ball to kick up after 2 bounces, and it just stayed flat on the ground and skittered through. If it kicks up in the air, then you've got a chance with some of these taller players on that Kennebunk has over there.
Hunter Temple had fallen on it. So now it'll be 1st and 10. Ball's on the 40.
I suspect we're going to see a lot of Brewer right up the middle.
Actually, the ball's on the, 47.
And Kennedy Charles just came out.
And Sam Esposito checks in for the Dogs.
Get him a little playtime. Get him a little comfortable out there.
So he'll be in the shotgun. First time we've seen him tonight. He hands it off.
Yeah, Brewer took the handoff, but again now Kennebunk is just going to sit on this run play and try to prevent Portland from going anywhere. So that's why you got a couple yard loss on that. But more importantly for Portland, this clock is just going to start to run, and Sam Esposito is probably in here just to hand off 3 times.
So, 2nd and 12 is a 2-yard loss that time. Again, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, not or close to it.
Yeah, Kennebunk is going to take one of their timeouts here to try to stop the clock and try to hold on to anything that they can. With 3rd and long, if they can get a stop here, they get the ball back with under 3 minutes to go, hoping for a big play and then try that onside kick again.
Third and 9 has Buck in the backfield here. He's going to get about
4 or 5. Yeah, that was a good play. He was stuck in the backfield and saw the little hole, knew he wasn't going to get the first down, and more importantly wanted to stay inbounds and just kind of came upfield, took the 5 yards that he could, or the 4 yards that he could pick up, and now Portland is going to go back and punt. Clock is running with 2:34 to go.
And Brewer is going to punt.
They're going to let this run as long as they can, and they might even take the delay penalty. And they did. Use every second that you can, Steve.
It's as close as we come to a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes, 4 seconds left, and the penalty will stop the clock. Don't really have a 2-minute warning in high school.
So now we'll see what Brewer can do. I'm sure he's going to kick it towards the sideline, not wanting a return. Oh, boy.
Nice high kick. It takes a Portland bounce, or about a neutral bounce, actually. It stayed right across the field there as it ends up at the 22-yard line.
Big punt. That was a beautiful punt. The rush was coming, and he wasn't really fazed by that. Just kind of took the ball in a rugby style, kind of moving off to his right a little bit, and just kind of launched it downfield. No chance for a return.
A 40-yard punt or more. Just a minute 53 left here. 1st and 10, Kennebunk.
And they're going to be content just to, I think, run this out with a run play up the middle instead of going for a pass. And they're going to huddle too, so they're going to wave the white flag right now, Steve. They're just don't want to get anybody else hurt, but they're going to still just play out. They're just going to play out the string.
2-yard gain for Barstow. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Barstow just came off the field.
Cornell keeps.
A little option play.
Yeah.
That was a nice little play. They actually ran the option the way it should run, where he was running upfield, actually came upfield, gained about 5 yards before he pitched it out to the side there for Stone to carry it another 4 or 5 yards.
So that moves the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10. Ball on the 39. 46 seconds left. This is going to be the last play of the game, barring a stoppage. It's going to be a pass up the middle to Gray Compton. And that'll stop the clock as they're going to move the chains.
That was a nice 20-yard completion on a simple slant play. Again, running into that empty area in the zone defense. Portland will give that up all day long as they can make the tackle in the field of play.
And incomplete. Stop the clock with 15.2 seconds left.
So Portland's defense gave up only 20 points to a very strong Kennebunk offense. You saw what their run defense can do to some of those smaller, quicker backs. That big back, the big back here gave him a lot of trouble. Barstow was starting to run wild in the third quarter. So this is gonna be a good test for them next week.
Yeah, that's a great effort for Portland. The teams will shake hands. And Dave and I will be back to wrap up in just a moment. So here comes the team over to the student section, and what they traditionally do is sing the school song, as they will get the adulation of their fans, in particular the students. A decisive victory tonight for the Portland Bulldogs. And as I said a moment ago, Dave and I will be back to wrap up in just a moment. So, Dave, a decisive win tonight for the Portland Bulldogs, 40-20, a 20-point victory over the Kennebunk Rams. And once again, it really was Kennedy Charles.
Yeah, Kennedy Charles again with 4 big touchdown runs this time. He came up just shy by our calculations of 300 yards, so he had 297. 4 touchdowns total on the ground, 1 more passing. We had Brody got that 32-yard interception really to seal the game. Their defense really played great against Kennebunk offense. Cornell just about 100 yards passing, and Barstow had picked up 55 yards in that second half. Most of that on that one drive where they just gave it to him over and over and over. So I'm sure that's going to be something that Portland's going to want to look at coming into next week. How do they handle a big, bruising running back? It seems like they can handle those smaller, faster, quicker ones.
Well, they have played South Portland, of course, this year. We don't know yet, at least live tonight, whether they'll be playing South Portland or Massabesic, but it'll be one of those two in the regional final. Dave and I will not be there for that game, though we will be there in spirit. Seth Gio and Henry Gio will be, however. That is it for tonight. This is Steve Schwartz for Dave Levine and Mike Hoffer, also Ryder Lozier and Valentino Cartonio, saying so long from Fitzpatrick Stadium, where the Dogs are victorious in the semifinal playoff action. Thank you.